Well, hello again, everybody. It's been a little bit. I've been very, very busy with some job stuff, so bear with me. I apologize. I'm going to make another video right after this to about more of a reading wrap up. But today, this video, I should say, is, and I'm really late to the party. Everyone else has mostly done this. It is the 2025 Horror Mayhem. That's right. This was created by Scott and Becky Bryant over at the Bookish Bryants, and unfortunately, Scott did pass away last year. So this is more in just honoring Scott Bryant with the Horror Mayhem. He and his wife created this event, and they invited me a few years ago to partake in this event. Not a huge horror fan myself. I'm more thriller. I don't really do ghost stories and stuff like that. That doesn't seem like, I don't even watch the movies. I'll watch are like slasher films, which like it is horror, but it's more of a thriller type for me. Yeah, I'm not really into. There's only a few movies that I've seen that are really good with, like, if there's ghosts and stuff. That's was Insidious I really liked, and The Conjuring I really liked. That's kind of it for those type of horrors. Now, like monster horror, I love, like Cloverfield, all that stuff. Again, I don't really consider that really horror. That's more like science fiction. Alien, I guess, is a horror too, but again, more sci-fi horror. So, anyway, we are doing this year. The theme is Decades of Horror. 250 pages or less, but you know, as long as you're reading horror, I'm probably not going to follow that too much because there are a few books I want to read that are more horror side. But I did pick up a few short stories to qualify for Decades of Horror. So let's get into it. The two books that I'm going to be reading this month, and I've started one already, Eden by Tim Levin. I just started this tonight. Basically what this is excuse me, I just lost my train of thought. So the world has basically fallen into just chaos because of global warming. And to combat global warming, the governments came together and set up these sanctuaries. So where basically they kicked everybody out and they're just going to let nature take and do what its thing. So this Eden is one of those sanctuaries. It is one of the oldest sanctuaries that they have. So we've got these group of adventure runners who, because you're not supposed to be in there, you get killed or whatnot. There, you know, they call them the Zeds, which are like a military force that protect these Edens, I guess, these zones that we can't go in. This story follows a group of runners, adventure runners, like I said, who try to run across these landscapes without being caught, obviously, because if they're caught, you know, they, like I said, they could be shot or jailed and all that fun stuff. So we've got them running through this landscape, and it turns out there's something in there that nature has basically developed, I guess, or whatnot. I don't know what it is. I have a feeling it's like plants or something, but I don't know, just by looking at the cover. Something. So we've got that. Adventure horror. The next one I've heard a lot about, this book. It's by Cameron Robeek. I think it's Robeek. Kill River slasher. Right up my alley. This is basically 1983. Bunch of, you know, my guess is friends go to an amusement park, and yeah, they are picked off one by one. Kill River. I've heard a lot of great things about this author. Let's get into the short stories that I will be looking at. We've got The Vampire Archives, the most complete volume of vampire tales ever published. We've got Anne Rice, Stephen King, H.P. Lovecraft, Harlan Ellison, many, many more. Yeah, I'm not a huge vampire guy, so this, hopefully I can read a few stories out of here. We've got short stories duel. Some short stories, terror stories, excuse me, by Richard Matheson, author of I Am Legend. So we'll see what he can cook up. I've heard a lot. I've read I Am Legend. I Am Legend is great. And of course, wouldn't it be complete without H.P. Lovecraft? The Thing on the Doorstep and Other Weird Stories. Clive Barker, Books of Blood. I've read a few. I've read Weave World by Clive Barker, and I didn't really care for it that much. So we'll see. The last one I have here, The Devil and the Deep, horror stories of the sea. Stories by Christopher Golden, Stephen Graham Jones, Shannon McGuire, Michael Marshall Smith, Alyssa Wong. You know, one thing that does terrify me is open water. That's why I moved to Arizona. You can't get farther from the water in a desert. So, ain't no sharks gonna get me here. And I know that sharks, Jaws gave them a bad rap. They don't attack people, blah, blah, blah. But you know where I don't get attacked by sharks? In the fucking desert. So, that's it, everybody. I have everything I need. Sorry this is late. I'm gonna post all my co-hosts down below as well. Take care, everybody, and happy reading in May.